Number 10. The Gravity Max is a tilt coaster based in Taiwan. And if you want to give it a ride, you might want to bring a spare pair of underwear along with you. Most coasters start from a stationary position and are that. So what that means is you pretty much know what you're getting up to and have time to prepare yourself for the eventual drop. Things are a little bit different with the Gravity Max, though. The platform you end up on basically tilts towards at a 90-degree angle before dropping the coaster into a free roll down a long tunnel in a single loop and a couple of bank turns. So the coaster itself isn't really that impressive. The only super scary, pretty damn terrifying. Either way we're doing this, we're here on Gravity Max at leap number 9. The Wicked Twister is a dangling coaster, which means that you're sitting in a chair with your legs dangling. Freely beneath you instead of being in a completely enclosed coaster car. So not only is the Wicked Twister a dangler, it's supposedly the tallest and fastest dangling coaster in the world. It's not list, but it is pretty terrifying. Powered by electromagnetic has sent pulses of energy into the coaster. It flings riders up a long twisting spike, which then allows them to fall back down again, and yeah, expect to pee your pants. Just like boom, you go up and you're like boom. What just happens? What just happened is linear induction. A long chain of electromagnets laid along the track. Fire energy in rapid succession, pulling and pushing the coaster down the rails, quickly building speed with every push-pull combination. Number 8, the Ultra Twister is a coaster from Spaland in Nagashima, Japan. And if you ride it, be prepared to get dizzy. This coaster goes backwards and forwards through a chain of never-ending spins. The ride moves in 20 seconds. But in that time, riders are flung through 3 complete inversions, 2 of which are experienced backwards after a 90-degree vertical climb and an 86-degree drop. So really quickly. No, God, what you were saying that sometime next month? Yeah. Number 7, the Slingshot is another Cedar Point ride, opened in 2014. The Slingshot is less, closer and more well, a gigantic slingshot. 2 riders are tied into a chair that has 2 elastic cables attached to it. And those elastic cables are actually attached to 72 meters tall spikes. Capsule. It's launched up to 110 meters in the air at around 62 miles an hour, and you basically bounce up and down until it comes to a stop. This ride is literally 2 pieces of string attached to sit in, and it's pretty freaking sweet. Now, if you didn't know, I absolutely hate any sort of ride, whether it be a roller coaster or just a slingshot thing, like what we have here. All of you are abs coasters. It's like you're asking for death. Let me know in the comments if you like to ride on roller coasters or if you hate them like me. I mean, they are so terrifying, who'd want to go on? One great hit. Number 6, the Stratosphere Hotel. In Las Vegas is home to one of the scariest rides in existence. It opened up in 2005 and sits at 270 meters above the pavement. I mean, riders are literally dangled out in a building and then spun around. What's crazy is that in 2005, a group were left dangling for nearly an hour and a half while the ride had to fall. Imagine that, just hanging in there above Las Vegas. At least the view would be nice. Bye. So number 5, Galactica at Alton Towers in the UK was originally another ride called the Air. Now, Air was nothing really special. It was a fly coaster that had 2 inversions and traveled at the pretty slow speed of 47 miles per hour. And this ride is no different in terms of those specs. What changed was the addition of virtual reality. Everyone's been raving about how VR would one of the best uses for the headsets has been on Galactica. Riders are transported through space itself via Samsung Gear VR headset passing by sites such as Jupiter and the Kuiper Belt. That's so freaking awesome, man. Great. Right. Thank. Right. I did not come on number 4. So I guess roller coasters itself aren't scary enough. They had to add in the whole serial killer aspect to it just to make it that much worse. The ride can be found at Thorpe Park in the UK and it's actually one of the coolest rides I've seen for a while, from the incredibly wealthy waiting line that leads up to the ride all the way to the of the ride itself. The ride just screams cool. Riders start off going through a dark tunnel of props before being forced through a inversion leading up to a chain link hill before you start going up. That jigsaw is a message for you. Game over. Riders then go through a steep drop underneath some saw blades, a inversion. It's actually pretty damn cool. Yeah. So number 3, Oblivion is another classic UK ride at Alton Towers. It's not as long or amazing as some of the other rides on our list, but that doesn't make it any less cool. Riders start by going up a chain lift before being treated to a lovely view of the park. And that experience is kind of ruined when you dip down at high speeds before a dark and dingy tunnel and coming out of bank turn. And that, sometimes things go a little bit wrong. The clip we have shows the seatbelts on one of the rides coming loose and falling straight out. So, yeah, I guess that adds an extra layer of fear to the whole ride. Number 2, the meters. Alpine coaster is part of a rare breed of roller coaster. It's a type of coaster that literally runs down the side of a mountain. The track is 2,800 meters long and runs down the mountain and through the forest in the Alps to control your own speed up to 25 miles an hour. Now, that doesn't sound very fast when you're on a solo coaster car that has barely any protection on either side. It's gonna feel pretty speedy on any of the drops or the corner. So he builds right up to the full speed of the coaster, which I'm pretty sure he regrets more than once. I'm sitting here wondering if anyone's died on this thing. Like I'm sure someone had to. Number 1, King is. A steel accelerator coaster that's based at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. It's the tallest roller coaster in the world and the second fastest coaster, traveling at 128 miles an hour. Experience what is known as a rollback. So, rollbacks are when the car coaster quite literally rolled backwards off of a point instead of forwards. Now, it'd be very clear. The ride does kind of collision. And that's really the fear factor of this ride. Not only are you traveling at over 100 miles an hour, there's no way that you can know whether you're